everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky. Yes, without the makeup, unless you watched my recent Misha haul. And I still, if you've seen that video, I still have that lip tint on my lips, and this is gloss put over it. It is not going away. So those lip tints from Korea are no joke. If you want something to be tattooed on your face for at least a week, there you go. But beyond that, the only thing I really have is foundation and powder on my face. And the reason why is, I'm sure you read the title, that's why you're here. I'm doing a full first impression of Kiko Milano. Kiko Milano. So this is actually new to Ulta. Ulta finally picked it up. It is here. What I will say is that the selection is not very good. They don't really have a lot. So if you're looking for a huge range, I think they're just dipping their toes in, which I think is unfortunate because there's not a lot of great products on there, so most people aren't going to be too thrilled with it. I wasn't impressed. So I went to their actual website, and what I will say, sorry Ulta, the prices are a heck of a lot better. And they have sales all the time, up to 20 to 70% off, depending on the time of year is what I'm finding. So you won't get the points, but you'll save a heck of a lot of money. So not a lot of selection on Ulta, but if you want to try a few things, go for it. Or you can order. And they do ship internationally, especially to the US, and I think it's like a $50 minimum. Not that I'm encouraging you to go out and buy things, but if you're going to anyway, you were curious, there you go. You're an adult. Do what you want to do. Okay, so I have a whole bunch. That rattling sound. They had a huge sale where everything was like, whoo, like between 30 and 70% off. And I spent money, let me tell you, because worked some overtime, did some other projects, and had some money come in. So low buy be damned, I left that behind, I would say, a couple months ago. So yeah, better luck next year. So basically what it is, and I didn't buy any of their foundation or their powder products, and here's why. Because this is based in Italy, you know, a lot of the skin tones, of course, are going to be a little bit deeper than mine, you know, or have more of like an olive background or a warmer tone than I do. So that's not going to work on my skin coloring. And of course, you know, across the board, there's different skin tones and types everywhere across the world. But in Italy, there does tend to be, you know, skin tones. They're going to cater more towards the skin tones that are in their region. It's kind of like in Korea and Japan, they'll have a very limited amount of ranges because that's the skin range there. Unlike the US, where we have so many different types of people living here, and that's just not fair. So, you know, that's kind of why I didn't buy any of the foundation, is looking at the colors. I don't think any of them would work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try their eye products first. So this was one of their collections. I think it was Beyond Limits or something like that. What I've noticed is that they tend to bring in collections quickly and then boop, out. Almost like a tamer color pop. They're really big in Italy, big across Europe. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan. So far, I haven't really tried a lot, but what I've tried is very good, and it's discounted. So it's not, it's a good price point. What I will say is they do use a lot of plastic. I don't like plastic. I wish people would go more towards the cardboard. You can recycle it, it'll break down, but the packaging isn't amazing. Again, it's a discount brand. I mean, here's like a lipstick, and here's like an eyeshadow. So you can see it's sleek black and plasticky. But it's a good price, so that's what you're gonna have to deal with. So this one was a little bit more cool toned, which yay for me, excites me. So this is exactly what I was looking for today. So I'm going to go ahead and experiment with this. Now, looking at this, it appears that these are more matte. So I have not touched these. So they look more matte, but honestly, it's almost like a satin. That's really interesting. So these aren't as matte as I thought. These are actually more satiny mattes. But I could definitely make that work. You can use anything as a crease color. It's not normally my standard. I like matte mattes, but I really want to do as much of a full face of Kiko Milano that I can. So I'm going to go ahead and just go in with this one here because, you know, it's calling my name. And it looks a little bit more matte, though I'm telling you, it is not. But it looks really nice, even though it is more a satin. It goes on quite nicely, but you can see, I don't know if you can see, that it definitely is a little bit more of a satin. So it's not going to go on the eye like a full-on matte would, but that's okay. That's okay. So I like to hit the brush to get the excess off, and it does have a little bit of powder. Duh, it's a powder, but some have more than others, you know, like ABH, Powder City, Lorac, Powder City. This one's just kind of standard, and what I will say is that it goes on quite nicely. It's really nice. Let's see what happens if I don't powder it off. You actually don't need to shake it off is what I'm finding, and it goes down just as well, and that really is quite a pretty color. I'm building it up, but I don't really feel like I needed to. It just laid down quite well. Now this line, I think they're just continuing. Like I said, it's like ColourPop. They'll have it for a while and then it will disappear. But that looks really, really nice. I like the way that it blended, even being more of a satiny kind of matte. Satin alert, it works really well. And of course there's these that are more like shimmery shades in the middle. So I could use those, but I am curious. And here's something that I do want to show. They have these specialized individual ones that I just found really intriguing. And look at these. Yeah. So they're really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and dip my finger in that. What I'm finding is they're not the most pigmented. It's almost like a wash of color. And I'm actually okay with that. I really am okay with that. But again, they come in these, you know, the packaging's kind of alright, but I don't really care. Just give me good product. So, but I know some like it, you know, a little bit more luxe. I like luxe too, but if you're gonna give me a good product, I don't care. So these are really nice. I was hoping that I would find something that would work a little bit better with this, just because I've been dying to try these. But let's see. Look at that. Let's just open another one because I only got 4 of them. I wish I'd bought more, but I'm gonna wait. I bought enough. Then there's this. Look at this, but this color. How insane is that, right? These are just absolutely beautiful, and I will swatch this one quickly. Not the most pigmented necessarily. It's more like a light wash of the color, which I actually like because I don't want too much of it. And then there's this beautiful like taupey color, which you can barely see. I do kind of want to use it, but I think I'm going to do a review on these later on. I'm going to do a review on everything. So you're going to see a lot of reviews on Kiko Milano. So I'm just going to go in with this shimmer here. I use my fingers, but that's how I roll. But you're going to see a lot. And here's why, you know, I know a lot of people don't know about them that much, or perhaps don't even really care. You know what? That's too bad, because you can't buy it in the US and elsewhere. It's more of what I've kind of realized. The more that the longer I have this channel, I kind of just want to do what I want, even if it's not popular. I just don't care. So I actually think I'm going to go ahead and use this and put it on the other eye. I know it's going to kind of muddle up this look, but I'm just curious to see what it would look like. Yeah, it's definitely a lot lighter than this eye, but it's really pretty. It actually goes on more of like a pearl color than I expected. I thought it would be a little bit different, but no, it's more like a pearl finish. Very natural, very pretty. I would see something like this working really well in Korea and Japan actually, so it's quite nice. But it doesn't really match the other eye, so I'm gonna go ahead. I know everybody's like, why'd you do it? Because I wanted to. You know, it's like, let's just give it a whirl. And then put this on top of it. Let's go in with this deeper color right here, just to keep it kind of in the same family and see how this goes. Let's try it again. Okay, it is definitely going. You're going to have to dig your brush in there just a little bit, and I did, and then once I did, it went in quite nicely. Yeah, there it is. It's just you got to dig your brush in there a little bit, but it is definitely pigmented, and it really is beautiful. Again, none of these are true mattes, but what I'm finding is that it's like the middle ones are shimmers and the top and bottom are more of these, you know, like I said, pearl colors, but, or satin colors, sorry, and I think they're quite beautiful and they're actually working very well. I wouldn't usually use them in the crease, but I'm finding that it's not causing any major issues or anything, and it's really, really pretty. Now, I think I ended up picking this up for like $9. Insane. I know, but they're trying to get rid of this line, and this is just absolutely beautiful. This is the first time I've tried these, just so you know. I have not used their eyeshadows. I haven't used really anything of theirs before, and so far, call me impressed. Okay, so I don't want to completely go too much into this. I like the look that's going on, but I'm going to go in with a little bit of that dark chocolate brown just to add a little bit more dimension because it's looking a little bit pink for me. And I'm really impressed by the pigment. It's really, really nice, actually. I really, really like it. It's really beautiful. Like I said, it's not like some eyeshadows where you can just dip the brush in and it goes. This, where you barely tap it and you'll get a lot of pigment. With this, you have to dig it in just a little bit, but not like crazy or anything. That's really pretty. That's really pretty. I don't use this light color because I like to do this. Not everybody does, but I just want to try as many as possible. So I think this is me trying out 5 colors here, 4 or 5 colors. I'm really digging that. It's really pretty. Very nice. Now what I want to do is go underneath. Maybe I'll take this color just because I want to experiment with it just a little bit to see what we got here. It's really nice. It is a lot lighter, so maybe I'll just take it under here. This brush is not exactly the right type, but here we are. It's really, really nice. What's driving me nuts is that this eye is lighter because I messed with it. Oops, dug a little bit too. It's because I was experimenting with that other color. It looks really pretty, but I just want to point that out. It does not go unnoticed. And go ahead and put this underneath here. Very blendable. Wow, I'm really impressed by this. Really impressed. Good quality. Now I did buy a couple liners, and this one, ooh, just slipped right out of its safety thing. This one's really pretty. It's like this purple color. Part of me almost wants to go under the eye and use it, so why not? They have quite a selection. Now, something to point out is that, which I really like actually, is that they put online what can be put on the inside of your eyes and what can be put on the outside as far as eyeliners, which to me is a big deal. I like that these are real pencils. They're not using the plastic. I don't like the plastic pencils. I like the wood. That's plastic that can't break down. It frankly pisses me off. So I'm glad to see that wood is still being used. I have a sharpener. Life is good. This does not want to go in. I will deal with it later. But it went on really nicely. You can smooth it out. I don't normally use pencils this way. I use them on my waterline. I only bought pencils that would work on my waterline because that's how I like to roll. And then there was this, which is interesting. It is an eyeliner, but what I didn't like is that it's the type that, well, it is a brush. I thought it was that plastic, but no. I was going to use it, but it's just going to look like crap on this eye look. It doesn't make sense to use silver on this. I was really excited. I thought this would work. It would work better with the blue. Part of me wants to try it just to see what would happen. It's going to ruin it. That's what's going to happen. It barely shows up. I think part of it's because it's silver. I mean, it doesn't really have much of a chance, but It's pretty. It kind of doesn't make sense with this look. I just wanted to try it. I can put a black over it. It's very light. It's actually very light silvery color. Yeah, I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara, because I didn't buy any of that. I didn't buy mascara because I have so much here, and I didn't buy eyeliner because I have so much here that I didn't want to necessarily pay for something I really wasn't excited about. So there you go. Okay, so I just didn't even go for a wing. I went for something very, very simple. Now, I ended up picking up blushes because, oops, scooch over a little bit. I ended up buying blushes because I love me some blushes, even though I'm trying to like get through stuff, but I was curious. So again, the black packaging, very simple, recycle it. But again, it's that plastic, fair enough. And here's the color. Now I got 2 of them. Now I think this may be a bit much for me. So this is Smart Color Blush is what they're saying. So it's supposed to go on very naturally and beautifully, and I'm a fan. So I picked up a couple of these. Now here's a nice little peach color. I won't wear it for this. I'm curious because I don't know. It looked a little, here's the thing. Things look a little bit different online than they do when you actually see it. That's actually really pretty peach showing up on my skin tone. I was a little bit worried that that would not be the case. This concerns me a little bit just because it's a little bit dark. The colors are a little bit different on the website than they are in reality, but it's actually going on quite nicely. And what I like about it is it's very silky. It's a very silky feel to it, which I didn't expect. So it seems to go on quite, well, I don't know, I haven't used it, so let's see. It seems like it would go on quite nicely. The only thing I'm worried about is that, again, it looks pretty darn dark in the container. And again, bare skin, but you know, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, and it's going on there. Pretty. It's a pretty color. It's just yeah. That is definitely pigmented. Yeah, this brush isn't. I use this brush all the time for putting on blush, but for some reason I don't. Here's the thing. It's a little bit bigger, but I use it because I don't tend to wear really bright colors of blush. That's just not who I am. I tend to go for a little bit more natural aesthetic. You can see it's very pigmented. So what I'm going to do, I mean, it isn't very, very pigmented. You have to go in there and build it up a bit, but I think that's the whole thing. You want to do that with blush. I don't like really pigmented blushes because with my skin tone, that could be a disaster. It goes on really beautifully, but what I'm doing is using a powder now to kind of get it to disperse a little bit. And this is my own powder. It's my Project Pan. Doing a good job with it. And putting that on because I think it was a bit too much for me. Now, you know how there's certain things in your makeup that you really like wearing? Blush is one of those things that I don't like to put on. It's not something that I excel at because I just don't. It's not my favorite thing to put on. Yeah, I can wear it. It looks fine, but it's not, you know, it's not my thing. But you can definitely see it on there. And it is really pretty, very bright, especially this time of year. It's very beautiful. So, you know, yeah, that's digging around because I don't have a table here. Yeah, but it's very nice. So what I'm going to do is put my brushes here. There's quite a lot of lip products that I have, quite a bit. And a lot of them, it looks like they're trying to get rid of, or they're just, you know, I kind of like it because they're selling all this stuff, and I think, and then getting a new batch in, which means, you know, the makeup's not necessarily old because it looks like they're constantly doing turnover, which I'm a big fan of. So I picked up quite a bit because there was like an additional sale where even if something was 70% off, I got a coupon for an additional 15% off, so that's 85% off. Yeah. So they've had some really good deals going on. Apparently that's normal, so never pay full price because just wait, you will get what you want. Okay, so they just have everything. They have balms, They have, I really love their Jelly Stilo. That's kind of what I fell in love with. They're these great lipsticks. They're really moisturizing and quite beautiful. Smell good. Yeah. I love these so far. I absolutely adore them. I think this will go with the look really well. Let me just check this one. Oh, that one would too. Let's see. I think this one would go better. I would put the name to the side because I don't know what is what. But let's see what this looks like with it. Oh wow, that's just really beautiful. Smells like vanilla. This isn't really working. This is actually more orange than I expected it to be, but it was cool to try it. I love this. It's very hydrating, very beautiful formula. Absolutely love these. But it doesn't really work with the look that I'm going with. It definitely is more cool tone. So then I found this, which is one of their balms. One of their lip balms. Okay, so this one is a little bit more pink than I wanted. I'm not finding exactly what I want with this. It doesn't really work. These are the lipsticks that they have, and these are like $6 a piece. Just amazing. The pigment is really great. I've been experimenting with these, and I really, really like it. I'm finding this is a bit too pink for what I wanted, but it's a great way to show off these lipsticks because they're absolutely phenomenal. What I find is that the products are extremely hydrating. And I see that they do have mattes, but I noticed that that's not necessarily their go-to, and this isn't going to work. This seems like a raspberry type color. I think this is going to be too red. Holy crap, no, that's a bomb. The other one was not a bomb. This is a bomb. Again, it's a little bit too pink, but I don't care. That feels so good. This is just great. I'm going to leave it as is just because I'm not going to go through every single lip color. But this is so darn hydrating. And what I like is that the lipsticks are really cool. So the standard ones are these black ones. What I will say is the more I use it, the more I'm finding out that these will roll by themselves and they'll stick to the top of the cap. Even if you roll them down, there's been times I've pulled it out and it had rolled up on its own a little bit. So the packaging again is kind of so-so, as I've said. But these hydrating lipsticks, so good. So good. It's like a kiss of color. It's like a balm. It's not the best color for this, but I don't want to bore you with me digging through and trying all these on. But I absolutely love it. It's just so comfortable. And I could see wearing these, getting the deeper skin, or the deeper, deeper colors for the winter, and just wearing them on the lips, and it's going to be so comfortable during the winter when, you know, everything dries out. So this is just so good. Not necessarily the best look altogether, at least not from where I'm sitting. Maybe it looks different on camera. It's funny because when you do this, sometimes you're like, oh, it looks different. It wasn't that bad, and you're bitching about it, and it's like, it was fine. And then some people are like, no, it's not fine. But I'm really liking it. This is really, you know, I haven't found anything that the only thing so far I've been experimenting with that I don't necessarily like are the lip glosses. I'm going to be honest, these things were really cheap. I picked them up for like $1 something. I love lip glosses, but I'm finding that it has a vanilla scent, but once you have it on the lips, it's very plasticky. So I think out of all of them, the lip colors, the lip glosses have been a little bit disappointing. What I will say is the pigment is absolutely amazing on them. Like the pigment is just amazing. And it's also in these kind of tubes. So you're not dipping a wand back in there so it goes on your lips, and I just think it's more sanitary. So I'm actually a bigger fan of that. But they're very pigmented, beautiful. But the taste left a little bit to be desired, so I don't know if I'd recommend those. But all in all, I'm really happy with the look of this. I think the blush went on really nicely, and what I like is it's not too heavy. It's a very light, the blush is almost it's not matte, it almost has like a highlight type look to it to make it like a healthy glow, just a healthy, beautiful glow. So I'm really loving that. This is a little bit dark on me because of my skin tone, I think. Or maybe it's not. I just don't wear a lot of blush. So to be fair, that may not be the case, but it looks really good. Wish I blended this out just a little bit. Not the eyeshadow's fault, it's the user's fault. But yeah, the eyeshadow is great. I absolutely adore the eyeshadow. I just think it's really great quality. And like I said, this stuff is going quickly, but I'm impressed. I don't know how it wears. I have no clue how it wears. I don't know anything about it beyond it goes on really easily. It was easy to blend. Great pigment, not overly pigmented, but I'm okay with that. You know, you're not going to dip it in and it's going to be like, wow, you know, you got to dip it in a little bit, but once you do, it's really great. And for the price, I'm really impressed. And the lip products are just like my favorite. They are so good, so good. So what I'm going to do is I have quite a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to be doing in the next like month or so, you'll see a lot of reviews coming out for Kiko Milano. I'm going to be doing a lot of lip product reviews. Some of these things will not be around anymore. So it's kind of like, why are you reviewing it a little bit? But I don't care because some of them are permanent in the collection and some of them aren't. So, you know, you skip the parts you want to see and skip the parts you do, or see the parts that you want to see. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to be doing a lot of swatches and things because I really like this brand. I really do. I know it's big in Europe, especially in Italy. It is in Italy. But beyond that, I've heard a lot of good things. So I'm so glad that it's at Ulta. But then I was even happier to see that they ship. And they are fast. This is what I want to say with their shipping. I bought a whole bunch of stuff because, like I said, it was up to 45 with the coupon I had to 85% off. I got a lot of product. I know. And it was here within a couple days. They do not mess around. They shipped it out so quickly, and it's coming from Italy. They do not play. So I am really impressed by the customer service, by how quickly they get things out, by the sheer amount of things. And what I like is across the board, there's makeup for everyone. So for every single like skin tone, for the most part, you're gonna find something. Maybe there are a few ends, like I said, for if you're fair like myself or porcelain like me, or somebody who has deeper skin tones, it may not have necessarily what you're looking for as far as foundations and things, but you have to understand the target audience that is going for. It's Italy. Yeah, so first impressions, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking Kiko Milano, actually. I think it's, I've been really impressed with their lip products. I'm in love with their lip products so far, except for the gloss I'm not a huge fan of. I'll be doing reviews on everything, so I know that this is a little bit more of a niche cosmetic brand, especially here in the US. They do have it here in the US. They have a store, I think, in New York City. I have not been to it. Here is why. This is what I have learned living here in New York City. We have options to go to these places, but they never have sales. So you'll get the sales on the websites, but you'll never get them within the city. You'll never get them in the city, in the store. So why would I go into the store for convenience when Italy's rocking it out? And I'm telling you, they are rocking it out. So quite impressed. And the lip products are just absolutely fantastic. And I love the blush. Well, the blush, actually, I looked at it, and it actually doesn't look that bad. I think it's me because I'm not used to it. I looked at it on the camera, and it actually looks really good, and I love the eyeshadow. So far, I'm so impressed. And this is a discount brand. Really? I want more of that kind of discount brand over here, though it's almost like ColourPop in a lot of ways. So, you know, we have ColourPop, and then they have this over here in Italy, and it's just great. I can see why people love it in Europe. I'm digging it. So watch for some videos because I plan on having quite a few videos coming out for this brand. Some of the products may not be there because like I said, they move quickly, but I'm going to try to get them out as fast as possible, review them. I think some of it they're trying to get rid of, so it may be a moot point to even do it, but who cares? It'll give you an idea, even if they don't have that product anymore, what kind of products they've carried and how it works, so you can know in the future, because sometimes they bring stuff back. So there you go. So that is my first impression of Kiko Milano, using a whole face full, except for foundation and powder, of product, and eyeliner and mascara. Like I said, I didn't want to buy things I didn't need. And so far I'm really impressed. So look for those reviews, especially the lipsticks. I'll have some swatching coming up and reviews, and I'm really excited. So until next time, my friend, have a fabulous day. Bye.